Hi, I'm Sangeeta Kumar, Assistant Professor of Mechanical Engineering Department from the Mahaguru Institute of Technology. Today I'm going to take a class based on the topic Design of Mission Elements. Uh, it's an introduction class based on this topic. And if you say about Design of Mission Elements, it's one of the core subjects in the Mechanical Engineering course. It's a basic subject in the Mechanical Engineering, and a thorough knowledge on the basic design aspects is necessary for an engineering student or a practicing engineer. So it deals with the design of mission elements. It deals with the plan, construction, and analyzing. The basic definition for the design of mission elements is that this deals with the plan, construction, and analyzing of different elements in a machine. That is, we need to first plan each and every element in a machine. Plan for the design. It's a design plan, and then constructing means it's fabricating, and then analyzing. It's a single unit or as a whole machine. So it's the basic definition for design of machine elements. So what is design? That's the next question. It's what is design? What is design? It's a basic question. It's not only in the mechanical engineering. Even though we are checking those engineering streams like civil and electrical, we have a term design. What do you mean by this design? We define a design as the art of creating ideas. So we define the design as the art of creating ideas. It's a common design, not only related to the mechanical engineering, but also for the other streams. We define the design as the art of creating ideas. From the first step onwards, the design of mission elements involves we need to recognize a problem for an existing design. If you consider a fan, simple machine elements like fan or some others, motors or some others, we need to study the existing design of the machine, and we need to recognize the problems relating to that existing design. If there is a problem with a single component or the entire machine elements are in trouble, we need to identify the problem. Means problem identification, the basic step for designing a machine element. Okay, so we need to recognize this problem relating to the existing design, maybe of a component, and with making use of our knowledge on this problem identification, we plan for a solution. That's what we plan here. We plan for a solution in its design step. We plan something innovative for making the problem to overcome. We need to plan for a solution. That is what we mentioned here. It's a basic definition. We plan to solve the problem. So from there onwards, after planning or after designing, we need to move to the fabrication or construction unit. We need to fabricate the product or fabricate the component or construct the component based on our plan or based on our design. So we can resolve the problems. Okay, so design of machine elements has its importance in each and every field for a mechanical engineer. For a mechanical engineer, this topic, design of machine elements, has its most importance in industries field and in automobile plants, in fabrication units, etc., etc., etc. We can make use of it in everywhere, in each and every corner of a engineering department. Okay, so we should have a thorough knowledge about the designing aspects of a machine element. Designing aspects of a machine element for both the engineering students and also for the practicing engineers also. We should have a thorough knowledge on the designing aspects. Then we moving on to our topic. If you consider our university KQ syllabus, Kerala Technological University syllabus, they have divided this design of mission elements topic into. We call it as DME. Simply it's DME. So the KTU, the Kerala Technological University, divides the DME subject into two parts. One is DME1. We call it as DME1. It's Design of Mission Elements 1. Okay. Then DME2. University divides the subject into two parts, and DME1 is in the seventh semester of BTech Mechanical Engineering, and DME2 is for 8th semester students, the final semester. Okay, so it's the only core paper which a mechanical engineering student has to study in the 8th semester. So DME2 is a much important subject, and now we are in the time of DME2 classes, online classes, and it's even semester going. Then we can also look through the syllabus of the DME1 and 2 subjects. The DME1 deals with most of the components. I think the syllabus is much bigger in DME1, and DME2 is syllabus wise it's less, but core topics is in DME2. So we just move on to the syllabus of the DME1 and DME2. I think you got the importance of the subject DME, Design of Mission Elements. Repeatedly I was saying that it is much more important for the daily life practice, for your competitive exams. You should have a thorough knowledge of this subject, and for your practice as an engineer you should have to learn more design aspects, and there is a lot more formulas, relations and derivations for the subject, and we make use of a handbook for studying this subject, and I will also tell the handbook details and all at the end of this session. Okay, then we can just move on to the syllabus. Okay, we can have a look on the syllabus. Syllabus is for the DME1, it contains or it possesses lot more topics than DME2, and it's module based. I will just explain about the syllabus. Module 1, DME1, for the DME1 subject and DME1. Can you see this? Okay, I will write one by one. Okay, DME1, module 1 deals with Introduction to Design. Introduction to Design. It's just an introduction part, or it's a theory part. We have an introduction to the design process or designing aspects. Then there is also one component, one term is there, materials. We should have a knowledge, or we should have a basic knowledge on the materials used for this design, used for the fabrication. Based on these materials, we design the components. Okay, materials is of much importance, so we should have a thorough knowledge on materials of components, various components. Okay, so these two comes under this module 1. It's a theory portion of module 1. It's just an introduction part. Module 1. Then module 2 onwards we move on to the design procedures. Then module 2 deals with failure theories. Failure theories. Theories of failure, some failure theories. It includes I think it's Rankine theory, Rankine's theory, and Saint-Venant's theory, etc. Lot more theories are there. It all comes under this failure theories. I think or factor of safety, FOS. You should have a basic knowledge on factor of safety. Factor of safety and failure theories come under this module. Okay, comes under this module 2, and then module 3. Module 3 deals with threaded and design. From this onwards, we will move on to the design. Design of threaded and bolted joints. Basic two types of joints, threaded and bolted joints. Okay, the design of threaded and bolted joints comes under the module 3. From the module 3 onwards, we move on to the problematic or problems related to design. Okay. Then module 4. Module 4 deals with the welded joints. Welded joints. Also, welded joints comes under the design of welded joints comes under this design of machines because there are a lot more loads, loads acting on the welding portion. So, based on the load, we need to classify or we need to recognize which type of weld is to be done on that piece or on that element. So, welded joints comes under the design of machine elements. Then welded joints, then riveted joints, and I think cotter and knuckle joint. So the joints all comes under almost all the types of joints comes under the DAB 1 portions from the third module and fourth. Third and fourth module deals with the classification of joints. So basic joints, types of joints. It deals with the design of all the types of joints: threaded and bolted joint, welded joints, riveted joints, and cotter and knuckle joints. Then module 5. Module 5 deals with springs. Module 5 deals with the springs, various types of springs. Helical springs all comes under this module 5. Design. Basically, it's design of helical springs and leaf springs. It's an important topic. Leaf springs. We see it in automobiles. We have already a basic knowledge in leaf springs. Then the design of leaf springs comes under module 5 of DMB 1. Then I think it's module 6. 5 is over. Springs, helical springs, leaf springs, all the type of springs comes under module 5. Then module 6 deals with, it's divided into 2 portions. The module 6 divided into 2 portions, and the most important portion is design of shaft. Then the second portion is design of couplings. These are the basic data were in the modules. So the module 1 deals with introduction, then module 2 failure theories. The module 1 and 2 is almost a theory topic. Then 3 onwards we have moved to the design, problematic design, threaded joints, welded joints, riveted joints, cotter and knuckle joints, all those comes under 3 and 4. Then module 5 deals with the various types of springs and design of those springs. Then module 6 deals with design of shaft and design of coupling. So this is the DMB 1 for the S7 students, 7th semester students. So I think it's our 4th years already completed the subject, and they are now going on to DMB 2. So the DMB 2 syllabus. Okay. Module 1. Module 1 starts with 2 portions. So they are first of all design of clutches, and second one the design of brakes. Both of these are from automobile field. So the design of clutches and brakes are there. Even though their mode of operation or their operating style or their operating procedure is same, the design procedures are different because there is a lot more types of clutches, single plate, multi-plate, cone clutch and centrifugal clutch, etc. So all these have different types of design procedures, and also brakes. Brakes have different types of brakes. So all the kind of brakes and clutches are different procedures, design procedures. So it's a vast topic. The clutches are either again subdivided into these types, and all the types design procedures. We need to study all those design procedures for each type. So the first module of DME 2 is a vast topic. We need to study a lot more on this. And module 2 is also divided into 2 portions. First one is rolling contact bearing. rolling contact bearing. And the second portion is sliding contact bearing. Sliding contact bearings. So the second module deals with the bearings, the type of bearings and their design. The bearings mainly includes the rolling contact and sliding contact general bearings. The most important question that may be asked from this module 2 is the design of general bearings. So it's an important topic. Then module 3 deals with the design of gears, and also its theory portions are there. So gears, its introduction and nomenclature means the terminology, and law of gearing and minimum number of teeth. All those theory topics related to gears comes under this portion, module 3. And along with this, we have the problematic design of spur gear in this module. Spur gear, design of spur gear also included in the third module. Then module 4 is a continuation of third module that deals with the design of helical gear, bevel gear, and worm gear. So 3 and 4, both of them is related to gears, the design of gears, and the design of spur gear, helical and bevel gear almost the same design procedure, but there is a slight variation for worm gear. So comparatively 3 and 4 modules are easy to learn because the design procedure of spur and helical is almost same. Okay. Then module 5. Module 5 deals with belt drives, design of belt drives and chain drive. Chain drive is a roller chain. Okay, chain, simply chain. The belt drives is again divided into flat belt, design of flat belt drives, and also design of V belt drives. The design procedures have some slight variations, so you need to study both the type of belt. Okay, design procedure for both the type of belts. And it's belt drive and chain drive. Then roller chain, you need to study the design of roller chain. Then module 6 deals with the IC engines. It's also 2 portions. It's also divided into 2 portions. First one is IC engine and second one is pressure vessel. The IC engine most commonly used or commonly studied term is connecting rod, based on connecting rod. Regularly asking question for university exams, design of connecting rod. So it has much more importance in the DME2 subjects because I think around 20 marks or 60 or 15 to 20 marks will be given for a single problem related to the design of connecting rod. Also there is a design for piston also given there. Piston design for piston. Then the second portion consists of design of pressure vessels. So these are the brief description about the modules or syllabus on DME2. Then when we go through this syllabus, we can have a slide look at these 3 modules. Module 3, 4 and 5. There is a common relation between these topics. Gears, belt drives, chain drive. Gears, belt drives, chain drive. These 3 portions are power transmission lines. Power transmission elements. If we want to transfer power from a shaft to another, we use 3 drives. Most commonly we use 3 drives: gear drive, belt drive and chain drive. It's based on their application, based on their function. We can use either of the 3. Okay. If the central distance between the shaft is less, if there is a short distance between the shaft, we use gear drives. As the central distance increases, we use belt drives and chain drives. Okay, so just for a knowledge, I just giving you this extra additional knowledge. Power transmission levels are there. So these three modules have a common comparison, common power transmission levels. Okay, we have already discussed about the DME1 and DME2 syllabus. So it's enough for the time being. We just give an intro about the DME2 subject. From the next class onwards, we just move deep into the DME2 subjects topics. We will start with the drives and all. Okay, so we can just wind up the session.